United. We are here. It is Monday, February 15th, 2020. 6 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. I am James. You are you. We are here. But the question is, where is this? Where are we? And what are we doing? This is At Home. You are on Twitch, and we are beginning our week together as one, a united front, in the name of what? In the name of comedy, in the name of conversation, in the name of passing so much of this time that we have on your hands, on my hands, on all of our hands. And I'm so grateful that we can be doing it together because, of course, without our old friend COVID-19, the global crisis, pandemic, problem, whatever you want to call it, it's really what brought us together, isn't it? Without it, there is no show, there is no you, and there's probably a you and there is definitely a me, but without this, there's no us. And isn't that what this is all about? Isn't that what it's all about, is bringing people together from different walks of life in a variety of mediums? The medium that I have chosen is the information superhighway that the cool kids commonly call the internet. I hope that you had yourself a nice little Valentine's Day. Did you get any nice gifts? Did you give any gifts? I'm going to tell you something. Up until Friday night, I hadn't spent much time thinking about Valentine's Day. And I'll be honest, when I am with or without a special person in my life, I don't think a lot about Valentine's Day. And I'm not one of these people who just dislikes it for the sake of being cool. I don't dislike it, but I don't like it either. I'm fairly apathetic. But I'm also not one of these people who's like, come on, you can't just do one day a year to show someone you love them. It should be every day. I don't know whose voice that is, but I promise I'll do it again a couple more times tonight. I have no strong feelings. Now, with that being said, I need to let you know, and for some of you, a reminder, for some of you, I'm letting you know for the first time, I received a Valentine's Day gift, one of which I was not expecting. Now, if you're out there in the internet land and you're saying, oh my God, James, you got yourself a main squeeze? Maybe some of you are like, James, I didn't know you had yourself a lover. I don't. That's the thing. I don't. I received one of the most wonderful platonic Valentine's Day gifts that maybe I've ever received in my history of life. That's right. Dimitri Kirez's mom, Kathy, not only did she make her son a banana bread, her other son a banana bread, and her daughter a banana bread, she made big little cutie a banana bread. It was like walking in to an Olive Garden. When you're here, you're part of the family. I got this banana bread yesterday, dropped off to me. I've already eaten half of it. And this is not some little, I don't think of a fruitcake size banana bread. This looks like a loaf of Palm bread. Palm, the brand of breads, the famous brand of Canadian, is it Quebec or Canadian? Who cares? Who cares what he's talking about, the bread? Now I can't stop doing the voice. In any event, this banana bread, 5 Jameses out of 5. On a scale of 1 to 5 Jameses, I give this 5 Jameses. It's got banana, it's got walnuts, it's got chocolate, there's sugar on top, and there's something in there that tastes a little bit like bubble gum, and I can't put my finger on it. Now, you're watching and you're thinking, is this really what I've signed up to do tonight? On my Monday, I'm going to watch this little beard guy in his little flannel shirt and the same hoodie he wears every single night I watch this GD show talk about banana bread. The answer is, spoiler, yes. That's exactly what you're doing. And I thank you. I thank you for spending your Monday on your couch, in your chair, at your desk, maybe in your tub. Imagine people taking a soak watching me. I couldn't think of anything more complimentary. So thank you. But I'm not just going to talk about banana bread all night. I'm going to talk about one central focus. We're taking it back to the old school days when there would be one central theme. Today is hashtag Montreal Monday. 3 guests with 3 different relationships to the city of Montreal. We've got current Montreal resident Lisa Palmieri. She's going to talk about what she loves in Montreal, whether it's a people, place, thing, doesn't matter. We're going to check in with our old pal Lisa. We're also going to check in with frequent visitor New York's Joe Conto. He doesn't live here, but this man, he has got nothing but love for the city that is represented by the area code of 514, or if you're someone like me, 438. Now, don't judge me for 438. That's not cool anymore to be, oh, you're a 438. Just leave it alone. It's an area code. Who cares? We're also going to have someone who used to live here, but foolishly moved to Toronto, Ontario. Now, I know that I announced that Dave Kaufman was going to be here. Dave has got the, I looked at Dave earlier today on FaceTime. I said, you're a guy that works hard. You're taking the night off. But I'm lucky because I surround myself with helpful, kind, wonderful people. So, because Dave has got the night off, I pulled out the big guns. Joining us tonight, back on the board, it is Toronto's, by way of Montreal, Andy Asaf is here tonight.
Yeah, James, we're back from commercial.
Well, Andy, there was no commercial. I was doing my opening.
Hey, no, I got the guitar working, got the band. It's the house band, baby.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, remind me, you got a house band for the show now?
Yeah. So we're the house band. We're gonna play in our guests maybe this time. Because we got a little bit more confident on the guitar. We got it working now, so doesn't just sound like me playing an unplugged guitar. James, it's gonna be pretty great. So
that was the thing that kind of concerned me about the guitar last week when you mentioned wanting to initiate a house band, is that the guitar wasn't, there's nothing sadder than listening to someone strum on an unplugged electric guitar.
I like to think I rip it enough that it was still pretty killer. And of course I got a new backing band this week. The band, get this, James, half of the band was dead. I didn't know this, but there's only a couple surviving members of the band. So now I got Kings of Leon backing me this week. So it's gonna be pretty hot.
You mean the band, the band?
Yeah. That was there last week. They were backing me up. Good guys.
Yeah. So yeah, well, Levon Helm is dead.
Yeah, Levon's gone.
I'm pretty sure Rick Danko is dead.
Yeah.
Robbie Robertson is still with us.
Still alive. Loves to be in documentaries.
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, you're going to be playing our guests in all night tonight,
and maybe out. We'll see how confident I am.
All right. Well, I hope your confidence is as great as you make it sound out to be. So
you know it is, James.
What's the name? I'm
also here to just laugh at your jokes, as good band leaders like Kevin Eubanks do.
Yeah. Well, I reckon you haven't laughed at any of them yet.
That's good, James.
All right. Well. What's the name of your band, just so I remember?
What did we call it? Was it the Andy Asaf and the Andy Asaf? Well, I can't really say like the Max Weinberg 7, because it's kind of a rotating door right now. So maybe we'll just call it Andy Asaf and the Rotating Doors.
All right. So the at-home house band is Andy Asaf and the Rotating Doors. Yeah. They're here once a week.
Yeah. And again, luckily we had enough in the budget to hire the band, and maybe we'll get another major rock band to back me next week. So,
all right. So, how about this, Andy? I'll check in with you later on tonight. Is that agreeable?
Great, man. Sounds great. I'll be here on the 1s and 2s, baby. Woo!
All right. All right. So I expected him to play himself out, and all we got was great. A lot of feedback on that guitar, but you know what? You got to work out the kinks. Let us welcome our first guest. As mentioned, he is coming to us by way of the state of New York, all the way in the United States of those Americas. Let's bring him in. It's Joe Conto. Joe, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing very well. What do you think of Andy Asaf and the road?
I mean,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
say.
say. I was gonna say he
Oh
promised
wait,
to
I
play
wasn't
you
even
in.
I was muted too on the stream. Sorry. You want to just do that one more time? Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
so
Let's do
we're
that
gonna
one
try
more
this
time.
again because
Yeah.
Andy is
Working out the
already.
kinks, folks.
Am I
Yeah,
leaving
okay.
and coming back, or am I pretending?
Yeah, you're off, Joe.
Okay, great. So, yeah, this is the first time I've had to redo an intro. So let's give this a try. Our first guest is a longtime friend of the show. He's been here since the beginning and he'll be here until the end. Hey, maybe one day he'll take over for me if I perish in some type of blimp or car accident. Coming to us from the state of New York, all the way in those United States of those Americas, it's Joe Conto.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me.
Joe,
Am I back?
now
Did I leave?
How would you compare about those two introductions that you got?
The second one was really good.
Yeah, well, it
The
sounds
first
like
one was good too. The first one was good too.
yeah, I would have been
I've never been
fine.
played in yet.
I would have been
Yeah.
fine to leave you on with the first one.
Yeah, I like it.
But you know what? I'm happy. It sounds like if my ear does not deceive me, Andy brought you in with Funk 49 by the James Gang.
Is that right?
I'm 99% certain.
It was supposed to be Footloose, but close enough.
That was
Oh, sure. It's it absolutely was Footloose. That was good.
Now we know that Footloose, the slowed, no, because Funk 49 came out first. Footloose is the sped up Funk 49. Now, see, I thought he was bringing you in to sleep all day, out all night. I know where you're. Forget it. Joe.
Yeah.
You're not what I would call a music guy.
I don't know that I'm not, but you're right. I don't talk about music a lot and all that sort of thing. I am more other stuff than music for sure.
Yes.
I like music. Yeah.
Yeah, but we wouldn't call you a music guy.
I would agree. Agree.
Although I recall one day, one fateful night, you and I were singing Electric Light Orchestra together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Well, let's get on with it.
But with that song particularly, you showed me a very small change on how to hit a certain piece of that song that I've kept in my head. Yeah.
Oh, what was it?
I would have to sing it, so let's not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll do a whole Electric Light, or you want to though, Joe? I can feel it.
No. It's just this thing where instead of hitting it on the beat, you hit it just after the where you would think it would hit.
And we're talking about Telephone Line, right? Yeah. I'm so curious about what part of the song you're talking about now.
I would have to listen to it and get it in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, here, close your eyes. Yeah. Close your eyes.
How are you?
Yeah.
Have you been all right? All these lonely nights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How it speeds up.
Yeah.
But that's how I would do it just the same cadence all the way through, but you're the one who said no, at the end it's sort of
you were throwing in too many lonely nights.
I think I added one when you're supposed to rush, where I put two and rush one.
And then Joe would be, that's what I'd say. I'd tell you
everything
if you'd pick up that telephone.
Yeah. Oh. Don't, you'll make me cry. There's something about the telephone. There's something about just thinking about the telephone that almost makes me teary-eyed. They're so nostalgic. A real life telephone call.
It's also an emotional song. He can't get through to his love.
Yeah. Did you ever hear I am a lineman for the county by Glenn Campbell?
You know what? I haven't.
Listen to it. It's
a
real
You're a music guy. You're a music guy. It's official.
Yeah. Well, I like to get my heart broke, right? So if it's a song about heartbreak, there's this song that I listened to the other day that I'd forgotten about because COVID's been hitting me lately, and I just thought, is that all there is? Is this it?
Yeah.
And there's this song by Peggy Lee called "Is That All There Is," way back from the '60s.
You're a music guy, Joe.
Breaks your heart.
I take back what I said. I want to formally apologize to you.
I'm a music guy. Anyway, everybody out there, lineman for the county, Glenn Campbell. Is That All There Is? Peggy Lee. and You Don't Have to Say You Love Me by I think Petula Clark. There's three for you.
Oh my God! Now I'm gonna spend the rest of the night in the dark listening to music.
Well,
which is my every night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is off to an upbeat start. I'm to all other guests tonight. We're changing it to most depressing songs that we listen to in the dark. Okay. Now then, Joe, tonight is all about Montreal. You don't live here, but you kind of do. You've been known to squat in an improv theater for weekends at a time.
Yeah, and before that, I the summer before I started doing that at Montreal Improv, I sublet for a whole summer in.
Now we have to be clear: Montreal Improv, not to be confused with Montreal Improv.
Oh no, Montreal Improv.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
OGMIT. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you lived there. You lived in an improv theater, but you visited prior to that, prior to us crossing paths in life. Tell us more.
Oh yeah. Well, I grew up just below the border in Malone, New York, and going back and forth across the border at that point, you didn't need identification. You just kind of said where you were headed, and if you looked clean, they just said, "Okay, see you when you come back."
Yeah.
And like we'd go across just for there was this place called Le Blanc Patate, but everybody called it Pivans because the Pivin family owned it, and we'd go there just like for hot dogs, like for dinner or whatever. Anyway, Montreal was the first city that I went to. So many things that were to me city stuff happened in Montreal. It was so exciting, because it was. I was talking with you about this earlier, that it was real gritty. There were prostitutes and sex shops, and I was still in Catholic school. You know what I mean?
If Times Square had a much smaller younger brother.
Yeah, Times Square from back there, not Times Square now with the Olive Garden and the.
Yeah, I'm talking the good Times Square.
Yes, right.
Back when New York was New York.
Yeah. So to go to Montreal, it was gritty, never dangerous, but dirty, and the subway system was confusing, and you'd feel a little bit of panic, and I was so excited to be a real stranger too. When you're a kid in a little town, I'm going to tell you a real quick story. There was a kid, Robbie Leclerc, who lived up the street from me. And he was the first kid I ever heard who used the F word, right?
Yeah.
He didn't say it, but he spelled it. He said,
"Yeah, you were 30, but he was a little kid when you heard it."
No, we were the same age. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He got held back. So the idea was he's Fucker, he said. And I go, I want to say the F word. And I thought, I can't say the F word to anybody because somebody would tell on me. I go, I need to find a stranger. Yeah. But I didn't know any strangers. I was in third grade in Malone, New York.
So you were looking for a stranger to call an F-er?
Just to say the F word at.
Now, but did you want to call them the F word or say like, "Oh, I need to get an effing bus"?
I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far. I just wanted somebody to hear me say the F word.
Yeah. Okay.
So back then you could call the operator, right? Like people would call the operator to like set their watch. They'd say, "What time is it?" And they'd say, at the tone it'll be, or if you were having trouble, whatever, you call the operator a lot, dial 0. So I thought the operator's a stranger, I'll call her, right? Because they were all female at the time. And but we only had one phone, of course. It was in the kitchen, and we lived in this very small house. But my parents had an extension, a telephone extension in their bedroom, but you weren't allowed to go in there. But I did because I knew it was 8:00 on a Monday, and I knew everybody was going to be watching Little House on the Prairie. So I said I had to go to the bathroom, and I snuck in, and I stepped over the squeaky board, and I stepped into my parents' bedroom, and I picked up the extension, and it was it's a thingy.
Yeah.
And it goes, and the woman said, "Operator," and I just was like, "Fuck you." And I was so excited. But here's the best part. She goes, "Fuck you too, kid." Click. And she hung up on me. Yeah.
She bested you.
Yeah, she was so exciting that not only did I get to say it, but she said it back.
Did you like being cursed at as well?
I love it. I still do. You know I love it.
Orgasmic.
I liked it. Just about 2 summers ago, this group of young Quebecois girls drove by me and just hung their head out the window and said, "Tabernacle fuck." They just said that at me, and I loved it. I go, yeah, someone knows I'm alive. I've affected other people.
So you enjoyed being accosted by a group of youngins.
I'll take anything, any attention.
Well, I'll tell you what, coming in the chat right now from Sid Rock, hashtag FU Joe Conto, but he has spelled the full curse word.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you love it. Now, Joe, you touched on something, and at the risk of getting personal, I'm curious to talk about it now. Joe, during your visits to Montreal, did you ever enjoy an erotic film in a cinema?
You know I haven't. And
I'll tell you what, I would have guessed yes. Not because I think you're some type of deviant.
No, I told you like 3 years ago, I told you that was my New Year's resolution, was to go to Cinema L'Amour. Yeah, because I've never been in a real live porno theater, and I've been almost everywhere, right?
Yeah, and that's why I would think that. Now, again, I don't think of you as a deviant. I'm not being facetious when I say that.
No, but I don't.
Strikes me as something that you would be intrigued to experience, not due to any type of sexual gratification, but due to the experience of it all. Plus, I think you'd have some interesting takes on their hospitality talents, whether if they exist or not.
Well, this is what I've heard about Cinema L'Amour. I heard that they're they're real pros down there, or over there, up there.
Sure.
But no, I never have to this day. No, like I've been in I guess what, a sex shop,
Mm-hmm. Well, now you talked about visiting Montreal when you were a kid. Do you remember visiting in like your early 20s or late teen years when you're able to experience it on a much different level than you were as a kid?
Well, my late teens, yes. After that, remember, I lived in Vegas for years, right? And then other parts of the country. So but oh yeah, this is where you'd go. Like the first friends I had who got married and stuff, this is where we would go to Montreal for a bachelor party, but real stupid early 20s bachelor parties, like where the bachelor would have to wear around like a ball and chain.
Yeah, trash.
Straight up country trash, right? So
but here's the thing, people still do it, and that's one.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Joe, I miss performing. I miss being out in the hustle and bustle. I don't miss on any level being on Boulevard Saint Laurent, and not that it's a rowdy street. It's what I assume to be a
rowdy enough
former self, but I don't miss seeing this bachelor and bachelorette party trash. It's a toilet.
Well, what I find about those things is no one's ever having any fun, right? But everybody is, it's your job. It's your job to enjoy yourself for the person. So it's tough to look at people pretending to have fun.
Yes. Yeah. The whole experience I find is so, it's so slimy due to the desperation that it exists.
Yeah, desperate. Desperation's never good.
Maybe people have had some fun ones. Maybe they have. I've been to one bachelor party. I got drugged to a strip club, and one of the dancers tried to disparage me.
She was unkind to you?
Yeah, you know what? She was unkind.
That's not her job. Yeah, that's not the job.
She proposed that she give me what was called a sexy bed dance, and I said, "I thank you, but I'm okay."
Oh well, then she was offended. I get it.
She was offended, but I was very kind. I said, "Thank you. I'm just not."
No, thank you. I don't care to have a sexy bed dance.
Here's the thing: someone else is going to accept the sexy bed dance. Someone is going to get the SBD. Doesn't need to be me. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't want a sexy bed dance, whether it's from an exotic dancer or someone that I've been dating. It's not,
Not for you.
No, that's not for me. And then she disparaged me. She took one of my friends to the sexy bed dance and continued to disparage me. I wish I'd get him on here as an update. She disparaged me to my friend during the dance. That's how much of an effect I had.
She did not like it. She's a thin-skinned stripper, and that's a tough That's a tough way to go into that industry.
Well, I just want to live my life. But enough of me. Let's get back to you, Joe.
Yeah. Well, Montreal was where I could pretend I was, and still, I guess, in a way. Though I've lived in other cities, I lived in Vegas. Here's the point. Montreal was where I get to sort of be part-time urban, I guess. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And do stuff that I think feels like, and you don't get to do this anymore. But before Uber, but after cell phones, I used to love hailing a cab while I was on the phone.
Yeah.
I loved it. It made me feel important, right? Like talking to somebody, but still, and having them pull up. And when you get in the cab and you're on your phone and you do one of these, yeah, I'll go to the.
Yeah, you want
and
another,
then you're back on the phone.
Another experience, much like cursing at an operator.
I love it. Yeah. Exactly. I must have told you before that when I was a kid, I got it in my head that there was a camera following me, and because I thought, because I could watch other people's lives on I'm pointing at my television right now, stupidly, but because I could watch other people's lives on TV that me and my family were on somebody else's television.
Right.
That makes sense when I was a real little kid. So I had this idea that I was being filmed. So sometimes I would do things, for the camera. And even to this day,
you were waiting for the laugh track.
Well, I figured it was there, but they were at their house.
Right. Yeah. They were watching the Contos.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So I always made sure, give a little, when things got boring, I'd give them a little something, Well, and even to this day, sometimes when like I'm working on something like, say I'll spill my coffee, I'll give a look to like the unknown camera, I'll just be like, I go, oh, and I go.
Yeah, you're mugging to the camera.
Camera two. So they can pick it up, right? Anyway, so I'll create. I do think of myself as like, oh, this is a moment that would be good on television, and I always thought hailing a cab would be a good like opening shot for my TV show.
Well, I there, as you were telling this story about being followed by a camera, and then the discussion about having a laugh track, I'm reminded of a story that you can either confirm or deny. Either I've invented this in my brain or it happened. I'm 98% sure that it occurred on I think it was a Friday or Saturday night. Were you walking back to where you were staying, having just bought a fresh ice cream cone, and then it fell on the ground?
Yeah.
That would involve a laugh track, right? Like you're probably like, oh, I'm going to have a nice, of course it was a summer night. You're like, oh, this is nice. I'm going to have a nice, it's a nice summer night. I'm going to have
creamy.
You probably went to Ripples, I'm guessing.
No, I'm not crazy about Ripples.
Dippery.
Yeah, it was soft serve, but it wasn't dippery. There used to be this little place that was like a convenience store, but they also had a soft serve thing, and I got a vanilla cone there.
Yeah, and then you were walking across the street and it fell plop on the street.
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint the corner, please?
It was on Despins, like between Saint Laurent and between Saint Dominique and Bouillon.
Right, that's a lot of foot traffic, but also car traffic to drop your cone.
Yeah. I don't like that memory. Right.
Yeah, I can tell. It sounds like I've really
well, because one time I did really bad in a soccer game in elementary school when I went to Bishop Smith Memorial. Yeah. And after the game, they brought everybody out for ice cream. And I thought, well, I was so bad at soccer, and I wanted to play and be part of a team so bad and everything. Anyway, after the thing, they brought us all out for ice cream. I go, well, at least I get an ice cream. Yeah. And my ice cream fell then too, is the point. And I remember just thinking, is anything going to go right for me?
Now, did that feeling come washing back when you dropped it in Montreal?
Absolutely. I thought, oh, I'm still third grade. It was in Denimore in New York where those prisoners escaped. That's where the game was.
Of course. Now, is there there's something uniquely upsetting about watching someone drop their food on the floor.
Oh, but it wasn't food. Ice cream cone, because ice cream cone is supposed to be a treat, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody's drops their, I don't know, whatever. a hot dog, everybody's like, who gives a shit? It's a
Yeah.
hot dog. But an ice cream cone, you're like, oh, that's such a special moment. It's an ice cream moment.
I want to, at the risk of hurting you, I want to dig deep. Did you bend down to pick any of it up to throw out?
No, I just
go
kept
back
walking.
to buy. Now, did you try to live with the shame of going back to buy a new cone?
You know how I get? No, of course not. You know how I get when I'm mad? I get super quiet.
Yeah,
you know
you
how
disappear.
I disappeared even in my own head.
Look,
I just
Joe,
stared straight ahead.
I'll tell you what, we have a lot of similarities. When I'm frustrated or upset, I get quiet too.
Oh, yeah,
but here's the thing. What's the alternative? Hang around and yell at everyone? I think if people know you, they're like, Joe is upset, James is upset. Let's just exist around him. And if he wants to leave, just let him go.
Oh, just go. Oh, I know. There's nothing worse than somebody going like, no, you have to stay.
I witnessed someone do that. I witnessed somebody do that to you. And then I said, just let him go. I said, he just wants to go. Let him go. And then you're fine. Well, Joe, look, I'm sorry I brought up that triggering memory for you.
Let me bring up fun urban moments in Montreal.
Okay, we got time. We have time for one fun urban moment.
I'm going to give you two. I'm going to give you two quick ones.
Yeah, quick. You're on the clock, Joe.
As I'm leaving a breakfast table, like a breakfast table, I like to get up, put my jacket half on, but then reach back to the table, get the coffee, take one last gulp of coffee, and as I put it down, slip on the other arm, zip up, and go.
But is this specific to Montreal? One of your Montreal memories is putting a jacket on and sipping coffee?
Yeah, because there are very specific types of cafes there.
Yeah,
you know
fair.
What I mean? Yeah, that one. And the other one is having a big newspaper under my arm when I get on the metro, and reading it, snap, like real big, because I have a big wingspan, right?
Like you're in one of the seats, and like someone's holding onto the pole or whatever, and they're bouncing, and they look down, they notice the guy with the newspaper, and they're like, oh no, this guy's wiener's out behind the newspaper.
That's right, and that's when I peel down one corner.
Yeah, you peel down one corner, and then you put your jacket on because it's your stop, and you take one last sip of coffee.
One last gulp of coffee, and I'm off that train.
Yeah. Okay, Joe. I have
time. Wait, no, hold on. Are you implying that it was my? Are you implying that it was my wiener?
Yeah, I was shocked that you went along with it so easily.
I would never.
Joe.
I might.
Yeah. Okay, Joe. Well, look, this whole Montreal memories and Montreal Monday, it's part of a larger project I'm working on, and I want to have you back for that one, okay?
Yeah, because I've got a lot more to talk about.
Look, I want to hear more of your very specific moments. Like the next one will involve opening a door while a bus goes by.
I loved it. I thought they were great, and I was so excited to share them with you.
Joe?
Yes?
I love you.
I love you too. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to you too, folks. That's Joe Conto.
Goodbye, everyone.
All right,
you know
we're
what?
back for break.
Yeah, break. Now I hear the Footloose. It's a Footloose. Kick off the Sunday shoot. Now I hear it.
I think I was going for the other one though, James. The funk.
Play the other one again. Play Funk 49.
Wait, I'm just playing the same thing.
Do it again.
Okay, wait.
Now I hear Footloose. I don't hear Funk 49, which upsets me because I prefer the former to the latter.
Yeah, same difference.
Well, okay.
We're back, James.
We're back. Okay, folks, we are going to move on. Our next guest is truly one of the greatest. When we had our 10-week celebration, this person was voted one of the first 50 episodes greatest guests. And I can tell you what, I was the only person part of the voting committee. I stand by it then. I stand by it now. Please welcome actor, singer, dancer, this, that, the other, everything it is, Lisa Palmieri. All right, well, that sounds like Don't Fear the Reaper. And I don't believe that the guitar was plugged in that time around. Lisa, you're on, and I have to tell you, you're muted.
By myself. I muted myself.
Look, you know what? It's one of those nights. Things are getting crazy and kooky.
My sincere apologies.
Don't worry about it. Apology accepted. Did you hear that intro song that you got?
Yeah, it was fan-freaking-tastic. That's what you see my dance.
Yeah.
Hand dance.
You're a music person, right? You're a music person.
Big music person, yeah.
I feel like you are into current music. Am I incorrect?
Half.
You stay current, though. You stay current.
I stay current sometimes, but sometimes I'm really not. Like sometimes my boyfriend, who's older than me, knows more pop songs than I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so well, I think that it's a matter of embracing pop culture. I don't. I have people come on this show and they tell me singers I've never heard of, and they could be making them up or they could be real, and I'll believe them either way.
Yeah. But I like the new stuff, but not I'm not into pop as much, but I'll like a good pop songs. I'll get into it.
Yeah,
I'm a Lana Del Rey kind of gal, you know?
You're also a Lady Gaga fan.
Oh, yes.
You love LG.
Yeah, I respect her as a human, you know? I really like her.
This is, I'm trying to lead into every segment about Montreal to talk about people's musical tastes tonight.
Yeah, what is that? So what's this?
It happened by accident. This Andy and the Rotating Door, the house band, they've got me in a musical mood.
Yeah, I like it.
So it's like I talked about some classics with Joe, and then we're here talking about Lady Gaga. Now, did you like her performance at the presidential inauguration? I didn't. I thought it was a bit much.
Everything she does is a bit much. That's what makes it so good.
I thought she put a bit too much into the national.
Yeah, like sometimes it's did you like Jennifer Lopez's more? Like that's the question you have to ask yourself.
You know what? I think that Lady Gaga is a far better singer.
Yes, of course.
Than Jennifer Lopez, but I thought Jennifer Lopez's performance was had the right energy, where Lady Gaga's felt more of like a kind of an artistic performance.
But she's always in a theater show. She's always in her own theater world. Like she's not even. I didn't even feel part of the inauguration. I'm not gonna lie. It did not feel.
We forget that she once dressed herself in meat. Yeah. Now, Lisa, you're a singer. You sing.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10 Jameses, how many Jameses would you give yourself as a singer? Like I'd rank myself, and don't be. The last thing I want you to don't pretend.
Be humble.
If you think you're a 10, I want you to say 10 Jameses.
No, I'd say I'm a solid 8, and I go to 8.5.
Lisa, do you know any Italian songs?
I'm not gonna sing Italian. If you want me to sing Forza Italia songs, it's not happening.
Yeah, there you go. There's this one Italian song that I love. This song called Che Notte.
By who?
Oh, is his name
Toto Cotugno? Eros Ramazzotti?
No, it's not Toto Cotugno. It's I think his name is Frank Buscaglione. Fred.
No, James, I don't know it. You're like every person who's not Italian who comes to us and like, have you been to the region in Puglia, right above the South Center? And they're talking to me as if I know every fucking. Sorry.
Oh no, come on now, like
every place in Italy.
Just think about it, Fred Buscaglione. Andy, you're in the booth. I want you to search this song, Che Notte, Chenotte. The last name is Buscaglione, and we're gonna check. Andy, send me a message in the chat when we know.
Che Notte.
Yeah, here we go.
Can I have it one more time?
Che Notte. By Franco Buscaglione.
Spelling.
Franco Buscaglione. Hold on. I ain't got nothing here.
Fred Buscaglione?
I can't. There's no Italian that's called Fred. Oh, Federico, yes, but like.
Yeah, Andy, I want you to search it. Che Notte, Chenotte, 2 words, and we're gonna look. We gotta talk about Montreal, otherwise I'm a false advertiser.
The more you say Che Notte, the more I'm pissing myself. Che Notte.
No, if I knew Italian, I would sing it. I'll tell you what, it begins with like sirens, like, and then it goes bum ba dum bum, bum ba dum bum. Remember, 15 seconds, Andy.
This is fun.
Che notte quella notte.
Okay, we might want to pause it, otherwise we're going to get screwed. Now, who's the singer?
Who is it? I don't know. It's Fred.
It's Fred Buscaglione.
Fred Buscaglione.
Buscaglione.
Yeah. Anyways, look, let's get into it. Lisa, I've derailed everything talking about. This is also hashtag Music Monday.
I like it.
Now, Lisa, let's get into it. You live in Montreal. You live in the Mile End. You love the Mile End. I've recently dubbed you the queen of the Mile End.
That's the best name. I've never been happy with, to be honest. Thank you.
Okay, so can you detail without revealing it so creeps don't find you? Where in the Mile End are you?
I'm like border Outremont, border Mile End. So I'm kind of like it on the both sides, you know, but more Mile End. I'm considered Mile End though.
You're considered Mile End. Okay, now how long have you lived in the Mile End?
It's 2 years now, 2 and a bit.
And you were living where prior to this?
I was living in Hochelaga.
Okay, now that is
the weirdest.
You may have well have been living on the other side of the world.
Oh, no, wait, Plateau. I did the Plateau after Hochelaga.
Okay, so I want you to detail. Give me all the locations and neighborhoods in Montreal you've lived in. Let's begin.
Okay. So Saint Leo.
Of course.
Saint Leo. Then the first Hochelaga.
Okay.
Plateau.
Yeah.
Mile End.
Mile End.
Outremont.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so how would I want you to rank these neighborhoods from best to worst?
Okay, best in terms of everything, like all around best, we'd say, right?
Yeah, just like from what captures your heart the most to the least.
Would you like me to give reasons why, or just 1 to 5?
I love it. Let's do that.
So Mile End, number 1, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just action here. There's like someone walking. Like I even like, especially in this quarantine time, I can go to Olympico and I'm living La Vida Loca. It's a party over there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fun.
You're living La Vida Loca. Okay.
Yeah. So that's always fun. And I'm walking around and I feel at home here. Like I can dress as not that I ever gave a shit about where I dress and where I live, but like I feel at home. You know what I'm saying? Like you can dress down, you can dress up. No one will look at you. I feel like it's very New York. And I lived in New York and I like that this is very that vibe, you know?
Okay, so the Mile End holds the number 1 spot.
Yes.
Number 2.
I haven't lived in Little Italy because I feel like it would also be up there.
Okay. Well, there's still time, right? We're young.
Still time.
Yeah.
And number 2, you know what? I would say St. Leo.
I knew you would.
It's not first, but it's not third or fourth.
Yeah, it's look, you went from your original home to your found home.
Yeah.
Okay, why St. Leo number 2?
Because the other 2 are crap.
Okay, well, we've got a spoiler of what's to come.
Well, St. Leo is like obviously a great like real Italian community, you know, like not the Americanized Italian community, like a real Italian community that kept their ways and kept their culture and kept their language and kept everything, which feels good, you know. And it's like I didn't go to school there, so that's like I felt it was a plus. So I didn't like I went. So I just feel like, I don't know, it was like the best of all worlds. Like I have my Italian friends and there's good grocery. The grocery stores are super cheap, family oriented, that style, you know, calm. It's calm.
Okay, so that's number 2. What's coming in at number 3, the midway point, where the list apparently turns to crap?
Okay, no, Hochelaga. Hochelaga is good. The only reason I didn't like it that much is I felt like the only person who spoke English in the entire.
From my experiences, they're a primarily French-speaking part of town.
And that's fine. I'm literally like, I do musical theater in French and everyone's more francophone than I am. And that's
I was going to say, you can't perform in French without having a strong grasp of the language.
Exactly. And I love the language and I consider myself like a Quebecoise, you know, but it was too much of like, I didn't feel at home at all type thing.
Okay. So we're getting a sense. We're getting a sense. You want to feel at home. Okay.
And then Plateau.
Now, this surprises me, but also doesn't surprise me. Where were you living in the Plateau? Tell me.
Like the cusp, like Christophe Colomb and Montreal style.
Okay, so that's a very unique part of the Plateau. It's somewhat fairly Parisian. I find a lot of people from France in that area.
All Parisian, all Parisian.
And we're not insulting anyone.
No, that's not why I didn't like it.
That's not why it's crap. It's not that the people are crap. It's that the experience was crap.
No, the reason it's crap, it's because I feel like there's such like everyone thinks it's the place to be when like it's so outdated.
It's over.
Outdated about that entire area. Their restaurants, everything's old. There's one street to walk on, and then it becomes depressing after 2 to 3 cross streets.
Send this into Cult Montreal as a article. Why the plateau is dead. There's one street to walk on before it becomes depressing. Written by Lisa Palmieri. But Lisa, I have to tell you something.
Tell me.
You might be in denial a little bit, or this might come as a shock, but
I know Mile End is in the plateau.
Mile End. It's getting old. It's getting a little dusty.
No. It's not.
This is upsetting you. You're getting overheated here. Okay, so hold on. Did you just take off a sweater to reveal another sweater?
Maybe that's why I was getting toasted here.
The new neighborhood is St. Henry.
I did live there for a bit.
Like, how could it was so bad it didn't make the list?
No, because I wasn't technically living there.
Okay, so hold on now. You just said
with someone who was living there.
Okay, so you traveled to enjoy St. Henry, or maybe didn't enjoy it.
I loved St. Henry. I have to say, I loved St. Henry. I really did, because like my kid, I work for Tuck Shop and they're there, so it's like I always felt at home. Courcelles is my favorite place. It's like the best, you go for a nice beer there, and you also live La Vida Loca there,
Yeah, look, people live, I live in St. Henry.
You do.
I am St. Henry. I'm about to celebrate 10 years in St. Henry.
10 years. Oh, you're the OG St. Henry.
I was here before. Now, I don't want to say that I ushered in a new era, but I will. I think that there's just something, the tides changed.
Something happened when you got there.
Yeah, I've been here 10 years in September.
10 years?
10 years.
You used to travel back and forth from Montreal Improv? How'd you used to get there? Good old Metro?
Prior to St. Henry, I was traveling. I used to live in the Shaughnessy Village right in front of Dawson College.
Oh. Wow.
But then I found my true home. So this is the thing. It feels you and I are in a neighborhood battle over what's cool. But guess what? The Mile End can have it. I don't.
Where do you get your coffee?
Where do I get my coffee? I get my coffee at Lily and Ollie. Special shout out. My favorite coffee shop. Shout out to I don't even like the idea that I said shout out.
That's why I'm laughing so much. I want to stay on that.
Yeah, okay, how about this? I want to give a special nod to Lily and Ollie, my favorite coffee shop in this neighborhood. And sometimes I go to the Atwater Market. I like to give the Atwater Market. It's no Olympico, because it's people. Here's the thing. Nobody's got anything to prove at Lily and Ollie. It's not like everyone's got something to prove at Cafe Olympico.
Yeah. I feel you.
But it's buzzing. Cafe Olympico's got a feeling. You can as you can live La Vida Loca.
Yes, exactly. And then I love St. Henry, but let's be honest. The Atwater Market. It's a big première moisson. That's all. It's a
big première moisson. Another review to send into Cult Montreal. Now look,
there's a couple of chickens, some good organic chicken for just $36 for a breast.
Yeah. Okay. So for people who don't know, Lisa works at the Jean Talon Market. Now I'm willing to concede that the Jean Talon Market has got more hustle and bustle than the Atwater Market. But I will say that once the holidays roll around, the Atwater Market is so much more not to turn this into another Christmas episode.
No, you know what? I will give you that one. I will give it to you, because they have that week of Christmas where like a bunch of random people come and do the Christmas market.
Yeah. You can go into the Christmas market and buy a jar of honey for $17.
Yes, exactly. Actually, one of the people from the Atwater Market who did that Christmas thing came to buy a bunch of my peppers, the ones that hang, and they were selling them at the Atwater Market.
Okay, so this is where we find our middle ground.
Yes.
Okay, so let's come back together with another common stance that we have, the plateau crap. Take me through your experiences of living there. Why was it so crappy?
I think like I couldn't stand my apartment. It was my fault. I made a huge mistake to get that apartment. I just wanted an apartment, and it was a time in January where nothing was available. So I just took this like semi-sous-sol basement with no lighting, and the price was it was overpriced, obviously. And like it was furnished, but everything was broken, and the like landlords didn't want to fix it. And I'm like, but you gave me broken drawers, like, and it's a furnished apartment. Oh, and then they're like, you also have a place in the back to put all of your stuff, so like a storage space, but we're gonna put all of our stuff, so you don't have that included.
Now, I also just want to say, Lee, you've just provided us with your classic, your a-hole impersonation. Lisa, where would tell quickly, before, in case I forget, people, there's a great Instagram account I would like for you to follow, where Lisa talks about things that upset her.
Yes, I haven't been there in a while. I apologize.
Don't worry, this will put pressure on you to create new original content. What is the account? Because you can hear that exact voice a lot.
Yeah, it's true. Lisa P. Rants.
Yeah.
Lisa P. Rants.
Yeah, so now the pressure's on to create some new content. Maybe you can use that. You can use, like, you know what really grinds my gears back years ago when I lived in this place?
That's true. I have a bunch of content, but I've just like social media is really grinding my gears these days. That's the worst part.
Okay, well, let's fit this in. How come?
It's everyone's pissing me off.
Yeah, tell me.
I don't know what it is. It's just like, I miss the old days of Facebook, like in 2006, 2007, when we used to be a community of friends, like joking and stuff. Now it's just like a bunch of stupid posts and sponsored and this and stuff. Oh, it's sickening. Everything has to be perfect. Everyone's posting perfect pictures.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who isn't posting perfect pictures. This guy. I don't even put filters on anymore. Forget about it. I'm not going to, if I got a blemish, too bad.
I'm not gonna lie, you just posted a picture and you look fabulous, James.
Okay, wait, hold on. Now that we're talking about my pictures and me looking fabulous, let's which one are we talking about here?
You just posted a one about like how you're gonna be on the James show, like, and you posted like a picture. Your skin was shining.
Oh yeah. So for let's hear. We're gonna show this on the air right now. Check this out. So we're gonna pull this up. This is me. Flaunting a big McDonald's iced coffee.
Look at that. Is that decaf or real calf?
No, that's all calf.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
And look at that hair. I feel like you just took a shower.
You know what? I may have, or it might have just been freshly greased. Now, was the adjective, Lisa, you used fabulous? Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, you look fabulous.
I'm writing that down. That compliment is gonna take me all the way until June at least.
And you're giving like a little smile.
It's true. Now, this is one thing that I wanted to follow up on. You were here at the beginning of the year when we had our New Year's resolution, where I invited people to give me resolutions. You mentioned that I need to smile more on the air. I don't think I've been doing it.
I think you have today. You laughed a lot.
Yeah, you know what? Mondays are becoming my favorite week, or the favorite episode of the week. They're more casual. We're talking about things that are crappy. Joe's talking about dropping ice cream cones. Isn't that sad watching someone drop food?
I actually dropped my ice cream on purpose once because I didn't want to eat it.
Of course, you hate dessert. This is what you're notorious for. You don't like dessert.
Can't stand it.
Well, I feel like we need to hear this story before we call it an evening, Lisa.
Oh, the ice cream?
Of course.
Okay, so, I was up north with my friend Juliana in Montreal, and everyone got an ice cream, and I didn't know how to tell them that I didn't want the ice cream, you know?
Why didn't you just say no?
Because the parents are buying me an ice cream. Like, how nice. Like,
I understand.
Like, you know, like I want to be nice, you know, so I thanked them. And then I had the cone in my hands and I had 2 licks and I was over it.
Yeah.
So then I didn't want to throw the whole thing. So I wanked it and the balls started flying in the air.
Now, I just want to backtrack here. Did you say you wanked it?
Okay, yanked it? What's the word? Wanked it?
I heard wanked it. Okay, so now
I wanked it. Yeah, I threw it.
But yank is when you grab something.
Yeah, but wank is the same thing.
Fair enough. All right. So you pretended to drop you threw your ice cream.
I threw it, and then I'm like, oh no, something happened. I got nothing left.
It would have been great if they would have been like, you know what? Let's get you a new one.
Oh no, exactly. Thank God they didn't.
Lisa, look, while you're here, I mentioned earlier with Joe that I'm working on this concept. Now, this is the precursor to that. I'm going to make a formal announcement here. Tonight's all about your favorite Montreal moments and memories. I would like to compile a list that I'm calling the worst Montreal. The worst places, the worst restaurants, the worst experiences, the worst buildings, the worst people. I'd like to get 50 items to put the worst,
50.
Just the worst. I'm going to whittle away at this thing. It might take a full week.
Okay.
But I would like to do worst Montreal, celebrating the most awful of the awful. And I would like on some level for you to be involved in this.
I'd love to be involved.
Because I feel like if anyone has more problems than positives with the city, it's got to be you.
No, it's the same thing. I'm 50-50. I love it. And then I have all of the things that I have to say.
Okay, so we're going to take everything you love. We're going to yank it.
Wank it.
We're going to wank it and yank it. I just want the 50% that you don't like. So I'm going to be in touch when we put together worst Montreal.
Wow, I got to start making my list.
Put whatever you want together. There's going to be a master list, and the brain trust is going to have to whittle it down to 50.
I'm very excited, James.
Lisa, thanks so much for being here. It's always a treat.
Thank you.
Enjoy Olympico.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back from break.
Well, yeah, that time the guitar was plugged in. That was Lisa Palmieri and Joe Conto. What a nice. I'm going to tell you something. I'm in a very good mood today. Bit of an apathetic mood. I'm in a great mood. Talk to Lisa. Talk to Joe. I got Andy in the revolving door here, and I'm hoping that this good mood can travel all the way into this coming Wednesday. Who's going to be here? Well, Connor Rose is back. If you were watching on Friday, you'll know that Connor was trapped in a closet. I think Connor is out. He will be here on Wednesday, twitch.tv/@home with James. Folks, I'm having a good time. I'm trying to smile more. That's what we're here to do. Our final guest is also the distinguished band leader of Andy and the Revolving Door right here on At Home. He is our final guest tonight. We began with him. We're going to end with him. Let's welcome back Andy Asaf.
Yeah. Wait, is it on? Yeah. Hey, James, how's it going?
Okay, well, Andy, you gave yourself the same song that you gave Lisa.
Yeah, I only know 3 songs.
It sounds like you put more mustard on it for you than her.
Well, it was my volume was down when Lisa came on, so sorry, Lisa. But hey, we're still working up the kinks here.
Of that, you're gonna make it on her worst musician in Montreal.
I'd be honored.
But here's the thing.
Any press is good press, James.
Here's the thing. You're not in Montreal. So Joe was coming to us as a visitor, a frequent visitor from New York.
Yes,
Lisa
sir.
lives here.
Yes, sir.
You used to live here, and now you've gone down the 401. You live in Toronto, much to my chagrin.
Yeah, you got to follow where the money is. Broken Social Scene asked me to come out here, play a few sessions. Who else is a famous? Bahamas. He always asks me to, guest star on his album and stuff. So, it's just I had to follow the money, James.
Andy, you are the only person from Toronto who I let on this show.
I appreciate that, James. I appreciate I'm not banned. But I have a bone to pick with that, James. There's some great Toronto guests you could have, but yet you choose not to have them because of your gripe with Toronto. What's up with that?
Yeah, I would say it's not so much a banning as much as it is an embargo.
It's definitely an omission.
An omission. Okay, so something for me to work on. Perhaps a later in the year resolution.
Yeah, man, you should have on all the famous Torontonians, Kids in the Hall.
Yeah. Who can I have? Mike Bullard.
Yeah. George Stroumboulopoulos.
You know what? I quite like George Stroumboulopoulos.
He's great.
You want to know why? Big Montreal Canadiens fan.
There you go. You could have him on and talk about the Habs.
I'd love that. I'll get Dimitri on that. He'll fix it up for me. So, Andy, look, you moved. How long have you been gone now? 2 years-ish?
It's going over, just over 2 years. Just as long as I've smoked.
Okay, so I don't want to say that one feeds into the other, but okay. Now, Andy, is there anything that that you feel like you're missing specifically right now due to COVID? We can't count family. That's de
Yeah,
facto.
no, I mean, I miss Montreal a ton, James. I've said this when I visited. You know, it's always good to be back in the home province. I
Mm-hmm.
like hearing French, which is not something I grew up thinking that I'd like, but I do miss it.
Sure.
It is nice to be able to speak English wherever you go, but there is a certain je ne sais quoi, you know what I mean? When you go back to Montreal and like, you know what it was? The last time I was over, I was down in St. Henry. We were walking. I don't know if you were you with me for this. I think so. But a woman almost like we are crossing the street, and there was a guy on a mobility scooter who got cut off by a woman in like a Prius, and she rolled
Mm-hmm.
down the window and she just started yelling at him like "Attention mon tabarnak," and then he yelled back like "Va chier mon calice de salope," and I just turned to you and I said, "Man, I love Montreal."
Well, that's I think that they were that's a Montreal slogan they were reciting to each other.
Yeah. It didn't even seem hostile, even though it clearly was. But it felt like a like a handshake.
Yeah, I have to say that as you were telling that story, I was people can't see what we see, but as you were telling that, I got distracted. I can see Lisa Palmieri eating what looks to be chips out of a bowl, and it really threw me off.
Do you want to bring that back on screen or
No,
do
no,
an
it's
instant
fine. No,
replay?
no. Lisa put her time in. Let her have her chips. um,
You know, I missed
so,
that, James, because I actually had I made a short list of some of my
yeah.
favorite neighborhoods in Montreal. Do you want to hear which one was my favorite?
Yes. Okay. So you were inspired by Lisa's list.
Sure, yeah, but I have a slightly different list. I think we'll just like rattle them
Okay.
off, not really go into detail about them. But in no particular order, I think best neighborhoods in Montreal: Brossard, Greenfield Park, Delson, Dollars des Ormeaux, Bois-Franc, and Chateauguay.
These are like all off the island.
Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, take me through what are some of your favorite things in Chateauguay?
Chateauguay is great, man. I got my first tattoo in Chateauguay. A Deathless Tattoos. Can I shout out? Can I shout out him?
Yeah, you can do a shout out.
Yeah, Tyler at Deathless. He did a great. He did my mom on my arm. It was one of my favorite tattoos. I don't know. Chateauguay kind of feels like the Detroit of the exurbs of Montreal. You know, just
Okay,
long
so you also
roads.
mentioned Brossard. What do you like so much about Brossard?
Panama Station, baby. No, take that back. Well, I guess this is technically Greenfield Park. Cinema Gouzeau.
Oh, so one of your favorite things is the Cinema
Yeah,
Guzzo.
man. Yeah, man. Come on, Cinema Gouzeau. Come on. You can't be it. You get drunk in Secondaire 4. You get drunk at the back, and then go see. I think it's Spider-Man 2, or I don't know.
Okay, what do you like so much about Dollard des Ormeaux?
I've actually never been. I
Yeah,
think I
I
did
was
a
gonna
wedding
say
there
I don't.
once.
This might be the only time that Dollard des Ormeaux gets spoken about on this show.
Yeah, it's West Island, right?
Yeah, it's in the West Island.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, I'll take that off
Yeah.
my list.
Okay, so your favorite things are going to get a tattoo and getting drunk before going to the Cinema Guzzo.
We.
All right, well,
You know, you can't do that though. Like, there's not that sort of like in Ontario, you can't really drink in parks the same way you drink in Montreal. You could, but it's like way more lax.
okay, so
Um,
this is something I didn't know. Of course, I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. I don't
mhm.
indulge in the nectar of the well, how the feisty, we'll call it. Oh,
Yeah.
feisty people like to drink. Is that not a thing that happens out there?
I mean, people do drink at parks. I'm not gonna say that it never happens, but I find like everyone like works for an app or something, so they're all kind of put together. There's not that level that you have in Montreal, where it's just kind of it feels like a bunch of unemployed people sitting around a mountain getting drunk, and I love that. Like in the middle of summer, you get a little day drunk going on. You're at the park. You walk up the mountain maybe a bit, and you realize you're too exhausted, so you go back down because you've
Yeah.
seen that view already. Those kinds of things, those kinds of moments. Walking into Green Spot, and it's a super hot day, and you get like a
Yeah.
smoked meat poutine.
I'll tell you what, I ate there 2 hours ago.
There you go. There you go.
And I'm going to
James.
tell you something. I forgot to pay.
Are you gonna go back? They know
I'm
you.
going to have to. I'm going to have to. I got my food and I left.
They know you.
They know me. I'm a friend.
I think I was with you that one time too that I accidentally walked in to the guy taking a dump because the bathroom there has no lock on the door.
Yeah, that I don't know if that falls under my best Montreal or worst Montreal.
That's my best Montreal moments.
That's one of your last memories before moving was walking in on someone.
He didn't even mind it. He was like, he looked at me and then he was just like, eh.
What do you say? What do you say in that moment? I guess you can go, whoa.
You just break the ice. I don't know. Ask him how his day's going.
This is going to be another episode. Have you ever been walked in while on the toilet? I'm writing that down. That's an episode.
Yeah, that's a good one. You'll probably get some good stories.
Okay, so Andy, if I were to ask you this, next time you visit, what are some things on your must-do list if you come back?
What is something that I've been missing? Last time I was down. No, it's been almost a year now since I've been down, right? COVID has really slowed down my visits back for obvious reasons.
Well, you say a year, but you were here, at Christmas.
Okay, well, I wasn't supposed to talk about that on air, but yeah, I was here for Christmas. Okay, come and find me, okay, Quebec?
It's fine.
Huh?
It's fine.
Try to lock down this, and I try to give a curfew on this magic.
Yeah, I think the statute of limitations is passed, considering we're in February.
Yeah, statute of limitations, man. That's my best friend.
Yeah, for anyone watching, I went and got a coffee with Andrew here on boxing.
Yeah, that was a good one. It was
shout out Lily and Ollie. That's where we got it.
I think we also got a Tim Hortons coffee too, because I think you had a gift card.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Courtesy of a special someone.
Yeah, I gave you a gift card, and then you didn't have a gift card, so you went back in and you came down and gave me $5.
So on Boxing Day, young Andrew here visits me. I come downstairs, he gives me a card.
I ambushed him.
He ambushed me with a gift, and I said, "Oh, you know what? Let me just run upstairs and put this away so I don't have to carry it when I'm walking." At which point, I'm scrambling to find a blank Christmas card in my home. I find it. And then I put $10 in it, and then I came downstairs and gave it to Andy.
I like that gift. That was a good gift.
Yeah.
Probably one
also,
of my
in the card, I wrote that when it comes to being a friend, you're a 10 out of 10.
It's true. That's true.
All right, this is real inside track stuff. You guys are really.
But my answers to that last question would all be inside track stuff. It'd be like, I do miss going for like just walks with you and buddies down on the canal, a little Atwater Market action. Mm-hmm. Of course, I miss, speaking of Little Italy earlier, man, like that's one of the best neighborhoods to walk in during the winter, like super snowy. It's kind of quiet, but also still kind of like dingy Montreal.
Sure. Now, would you say that's a romantic part of town to walk in?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most romantic parts. Okay, so it's kind of industrial, but I like it.
Now, I want to acknowledge something that's coming in on the chat, but I also wanted to talk about this. You at one point had quite a difficult an apartment situation when you were living, of course, in the Plateau, or as Lisa Palmieri would have you know it as, crappy.
I lived right near there, yeah, right near where Lisa used to live. We lived on Mount Royal and Saint-Tropez. And if anyone's familiar, like maybe this is right before I moved. Yeah, right before I moved, and this is kind of a sign, James. A bit of God's hand coming down and giving me my destiny here. But right when I confirmed that I was leaving my apartment with my landlord, I said, "Hey, I'm off. I'm not coming back." The building behind my apartment. This is on what's that street called? Jean Mance? No, what's the one right in front of the park? Esplanade. One of the buildings there has been it's just been abandoned, right? Like it's like falling down, total crap. Like supposedly the landlord has been in a dispute because it's a heritage site, so he can't completely flatten it. He needs to like keep the front of the building or something. Yep. So he's just been letting it go, just like in this fight forever. This building, the roof collapses, and someone notices, calls it in. Everybody in the surrounding neighborhood, including my apartment, evacuated, taped. You can't come back in. And they basically did that for a week. They didn't let me into my apartment. Luckily, I had somewhere to stay. But a week, they were just like, sorry, good luck. But we got to figure out what to do here because the landlord still doesn't want to demolish the building. And in the end, the solution they came up with was to build a giant wood wall in my backyard, cutting out all the light. just a big wood wall around this building. So
Sure.
yeah, that was shitty. But it was kind of like, okay, time to move on.
Now, wasn't there some type of issue with some type of sewage odor?
I see Dimitri writing that in the chat. I vaguely remember we had a bit of like at one point.
I recall rumors that your apartment smelled of feces.
No.
But then for some reason, I also recall that
that's
you
slander.
didn't think it was that bad.
Everyone
else thought
this
it was
is
bad.
slander, and this is libel. I think the bathroom at one point had like a backup. You know, like when the pipes don't back up properly, like the trap, and so you get like a sewage whiff. And then Dimitri's blaming it on me now in the chat and saying this guy's taking huge dumps or whatever. Libel.
Okay, so yeah, I guess my two of my members of my production team are arguing.
No, I challenge him, James. I challenge him to come on and have a debate.
Okay, well, I'm not going to have a debate on the show as to whether or not your bathroom was
schedule
smelly.
it. We're scheduling it in the production schedule.
Yeah, I'm going to Yeah, this sounds like a kind of a segment better had off air.
No, it's going to be a prime time event.
Folks, just close your eyes and imagine you turn on your Instagram. On tonight's show, Andy and Dimitri debate whether or not the bathroom was smelly.
Yeah, it's going to be like Kobayashi fights the bear, you know? You could be a prime time.
Kobayashi with the hot dog eating champion?
Yeah, and Dimitri's Kobayashi and I'm the bear, baby.
So no love for Joey Chestnut.
Who's that?
Joey Chestnut's the hot dog.
Was he the other hot dog? He's the current one.
Oh, he's a long-standing hot dog eating champion.
Yeah, but come on, Kobayashi fought the bear.
All right. Well, Andy, as we begin to wind down, can you give me some of your favorite spots to get a steamy in Montreal?
Best steamy?
Yeah, now that we're talking about hot dogs.
Putting me on the spot.
I just want to say, as soon as we talked about steamies, once again, Lisa Palmieri's face lit up. probably thinking the steamy would be great with chips right now.
Oh man, throw a couple like plain potato chips in a steamy. I don't really like plain potato chips, but throw that in a steamy. What was that place we went to near Theater St. Catherine?
Montreal Pool Room.
Pool Room, probably my favorite steamy.
It's pretty reliable steamy, yeah.
Great steamy there. Also, Brossard has a really good La Fleur that has amazing steamies right next to my orthodontist.
Okay, so you can go
where the old Toys R Us was.
You can go to your orthodontist, go to have a hot dog, then get drunk and go to Cinema Guzzo afterwards.
Exactly. But hey, that's my perfect afternoon. That's what I'm gonna do when I come back.
All right.
And then take a bus in Panama. Hang out at Scratch.
Well, it sounds like you've got everything settled here. Do you want to give a third shout out to one last hot dog establishment?
No.
Okay, so you got a top two.
Yeah. I don't know. Steamies I feel like aren't really like Steamy's a steamy. I feel like I've had the same steamy my whole life when I was in a cafeteria when I was 7 or when I'm drunk on St. Laurent. It's the same steamy.
This is a bold take because sometimes the steamy's not steamed enough. It's a little too chewy.
Yeah, but it's all fake cockroach meat. Like, what are you talking about, James?
Okay. Classic. It's this guy's the hot dog. It's this guy's the hot dog.
Oh, here he is.
This guy's this whole thing. It's made up of this guy's. It's cockroach.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's got a backing track.
Sure.
Okay, so you have a top two favorite hot dogs. Montreal Pool Room, and where is it in Brossard?
La Fleur.
Oh, so
across
it's just
from Panama Station. Yeah.
All right, La Fleur's it is. Andy, we're about to wind down here. Before we do that, I want to thank Lisa Palmieri for being here. I want to thank Joe for being here. Andy, of course, I want to thank you for being here.
Hey, James.
Thanks for
having the backing band here too.
That was not my choice. The backing band was not my decision. Not only do I want Joe to come back soon, Andy, I want you to come back soon. Of course, you are the house band. So would you like, once again, for me to wrap up and then throw to you to play us out?
I'll be shredding us out, baby. And I'll be here on Wednesday too.
All right. So let's, okay, folks, I'm going to, as I do every night, I'm going to, do some type of outro, and then I'm going to throw to Andy. So with that being said, I want to thank you so much for being here. I want to thank all of my guests. Tonight truly was a hashtag Montreal Monday. And remember, Worst Montreal is coming up. But before we do any of that stuff, this Wednesday, Connor Rose so much more. Until then, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Tell your mom, dad, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, Grammy, Grampy. Tell your best friend. Heck, tell your worst enemy to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on Twitch. Until then, I am James. You are you. We were here. Good night, goodbye, farewell, be well. And here's Andy Asaf and the Revolving Doors.